Initially, when the project started, I just went online and bought a whole lot of music books and books of Australian ballads and stuff like that. And the thing that really kind of hit home to me really, really quickly was that we've come in Australia to see this little body of work as being what you consider to be Australian folk song. And there's just no reason for it to be quite static as that, you know. And one of the things that I pretty quickly realised with broadsides is that, you know, they were you know, sets of lyrics that were basically sold on the street. And people just made up their own tunes. You know, they just would grab a popular tune or whatever. And so I just sort of taken that as a case in point. Well, you know, I basically had to grab things from where I could find them. Well, one of the things in doing this project that I was alerted to was that the smallness of the canon of Australian folk music. You know, and it always struck me as being sort of limited and small, and it was, you know, pretty much due to the fact that, like, Burl Ives released the first, you know, couple of records of Australian folk songs, and he was pretty much acting or choosing those songs from a guy called Percy Jones, who was a priest in Geelong. You know? So it's a pretty limited sort of view of what constituted Australian folk songs. And it sort of explains to me too why in Australian folk songs, there's hardly any relationship songs. When you take all British songs, I've always got these things. As I walked out, it's always about the girl being tested, you know. I walked out on a midsummer's morning. American folk songs full of, you know, songs about, you know, about relationships and families and love songs. And Australian folk songs just doesn't have it. Looking at this project and saying, well, with each person in point, you know, like I had basically had a family story which went from transportation through to the First World War, which is, you know, a good 3, sometimes 4 generations of people to sort of deal with. It wasn't too hard just to go through there and start finding the stories, and it was really great to get some love stories in and make it really, and the fact that it was really personal.